Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2023, the album Dad, Shimmy Shimmy, F. Players only love you when they're playing. Jaclyn Hill. Beast! How are you guys doing today? Are you ready for the Super Bowl? Touchdown! Are you ready to watch? I saw one of my friends from a true crime book club. Hey, Nikki, how are you? She posted over on Facebook. She said, is everybody ready for Rihanna's concert tomorrow night? And I saw that. I thought that was so funny because that is so me. I don't even know who is playing at a Super Bowl. But I'm thinking about maybe doing, y'all know I do these rant videos from time to time. I'm thinking about maybe doing another twofer today. Yesterday, I put 2 videos out, so if you haven't seen them, go check them out. But I'm thinking about doing another twofer today and doing a Super Bowl rant because listen, Linda, I have some things to say about the Super Bowl, okay? Super Bowl parties, and on and on and on. But before I get into all of that, that will be my next video if I decide to film that. I thought I would get on here and talk about how Jaclyn Hill has lied to us all and has been lying to all of us for a very long time, and it has been confirmed this week. I want to talk about a video that Jen from Jen Loves Reviews put out, a fantastic video. She's been following this court documents, this court drama that's been going on with the closing of Forma brands or the bankruptcy of Forma brands, and so I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about some documents that came out and all of that. And I also want to talk about, I went back and I watched several of Jaclyn Hill's videos because I kind of wanted to see if what I remembered to be true, if it was true or not. And what I found was very, very interesting. So I want to talk about that as well. But before I do, I was looking over on the Beauty Guru Reddit, and I ran across this post, which I thought was interesting because it kind of echoed a little bit of what I have been predicting was going to happen for the last couple months. So let me read it to you. Somebody said over here, please bring beauty YouTube back. I'm so tired of TikTok beauty. With the short form content, everyone needs to act loud and annoying to grab attention since the videos are so short. Always so dramatized, can never actually see what the product looks like because the beauty filter and nothing is ever real. I miss YouTube videos where the creator would actually give a thorough review, show the product in different lighting, wear tests, etc. And I feel like I have not seen a single TikToker provide their real opinion on a product. YouTube just seemed more genuine and definitely more educational. I feel like the YouTube videos are valuable while the TikTok ones are junk. Maybe I'm just jaded. Anyone else? And what was interesting when you go over there and you read this thread is that the majority of the people over there are saying, and I know this has nothing to do with Jaclyn Hill, but I just thought this was kind of an interesting point. The majority of the people over there were saying that they too missed beauty YouTube, and that they were saying that like on TikTok, it's very much where you'll see somebody and they'll say, okay, I'm getting ready, and then it's like boom, and then they have the look, and that's it, right? Or they'll say, oh, like I'm holding up this mascara, and I can't believe it. This is the greatest mascara in the world. I can't imagine what I might be talking about. But it's those kinds of things, right, that we see over on TikTok. Whereas on YouTube, you would see a get ready with me, and people would show the different products. Or you would see, you know, like they would show dupes of what, like, you know, inexpensive products compared to expensive products and things like that. So there are a lot of examples that people were giving in the comment section below of things that they feel like are missing over on TikTok that they loved over on YouTube. Now, I do want to give out a shout out to a couple YouTubers because somebody put on the thread, they said, lots of beauty creators are still on YouTube. A lot of the people I watch are still posting regular long-form content in addition to short form. I'm curious who you were watching before that switched to mostly short form. Some people to check out who post regular reviews are, and I don't know much about I know some about some of these people, but not all of them. So I don't know if they're problematic or not, but a couple of these people like Emily Noel, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, you need to check out Emily Noel. She is fantastic. They said Emily Noel, Allie Glines, Jen Phelps, Kelly Gooch, Mandy Leah, Angelica Nyquist, and Andrea Matalano. So those are just a few. If you guys have YouTubers out there that you love their beauty content, please put it in the comment section below and help people find beauty influencers that are still doing get readies with me and things like that. And, you know, maybe we can just use this as kind of a place where people can also, other than the Beauty Guru Reddit or Twitter and things like that, find beauty influencers that are still doing the real deal over on YouTube. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I had said in previous videos, I've said it for the last couple months, that I feel like the pendulum is going to switch. And there was actually another thread, and I thought this was interesting, and it was talking about how the problematic gurus are now like existing on TikTok. And if that's the case, then TikTok beauty influencers, that will have its kind of like course for a while, and then the pendulum will switch back to YouTube again. And I already think it's interesting what's going on because, you know, TikTok was what, you know, 30-second to 3-minute TikToks, and now people are able to post longer than that. YouTube is going to the short form content. Instagram wants people to post reels, which is why, and they're pushing reels and they're paying for reels. So when you see your favorite beauty influencer posting reel after reel after reel after reel after reel after reel, and they're not posting pictures, and then they're complaining that nobody wants to see pictures anymore. It's not that nobody wants to see pictures, because I love seeing pictures on Instagram. What it is that they don't get their pictures pushed, but they do get their reels pushed, and they do get paid for their reels. So they're gonna go where their money is, right? And so that's the first thing. And then on YouTube, a lot of people are going to shorts because we already know that the shorts is YouTube's way of doing TikTok. And I think it's like trying to get, and what's ultimately happening is people are posting the same thing on both. So I don't really know how that's going to work effectively for YouTube. I don't love shorts on YouTube. I don't typically watch people's shorts on YouTube. I like longer form content. That's what I enjoy watching. To me, I love a good 30-minute video on YouTube, you know. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Let's talk about Jaclyn Hill. So I had seen this come out earlier in the week where the Forma brands, if you guys do not know what I'm talking about, I don't know how you wouldn't at this point. I've been talking about it in several videos. But Forma Brands, which is the parent company over Morphe and over Jaclyn Cosmetics and over several other brands, is filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, okay? So there's tons of court documents that are coming out about this. There's a lot of hearings that are happening and things like that. Well, earlier in the week, it came out, and they had this whole thing come out, and they talked about the different financials and all this kind of stuff. And one piece that came out was about Jaclyn Cosmetics, okay? Now, apparently, there's going to be another date, I think, and this is all, I got all this information from Jen Loves Reviews video. She did a fantastic research video, so I will link it below. Please go check out her video. I love Jen, and I think she is doing a really good, she's doing really good coverage of all of this, and very interesting, and it's this, listen, this is above my pay grade, okay? Listen, I ain't got my glasses on, I can't do math, but she understands it very, very well. So anyway, but like apparently they're going to do an entirely separate hearing on, I think it's February 23rd, just to discuss Jaclyn Cosmetics and its oxygen laboratory and all of this kind of stuff going on with it. But what was interesting about this, and Jen included this in her video, was several things came out, and I'm not going to include these receipts in my video because Jen has them in hers, but they had to release information basically about like who were the people at the top of Jaclyn Cosmetics in the last several years, okay? And when you look on here in the last couple years, you see positions for controller, manager, member, chief financial officer, that's CFO, president, chief restructuring officer. Hold on a second, let me get to the next one. Former CCO, former CFO, former CAO, former manager, CEO. That was from 2019 to 2022. Former CEO, that was in 2022. And former CFO to former COO. And in that entire list, nowhere could it be found that Jaclyn Hill had held any of those positions, okay? She wasn't the CEO, she wasn't the CFO, she wasn't manager, she wasn't partner, she wasn't hostess, she wasn't greeter, she wasn't fountain pop girl, she wasn't nothing, okay? So I don't really understand how she has come out in all these videos and all this time and said that she was the CEO of Jaclyn Cosmetics. It's a blatant lie. It's an absolute blatant lie. And here is now court-documented factual evidence that Jaclyn Hill has lied when she has come out and said that she was the CEO of Jaclyn Cosmetics. And what was interesting to me, and I feel this sentiment as well, is that when I was watching Jen's video, she said something to the effect of, she said, you know, it's crazy to me when people will say, you know, like, why is it that you believe that Jaclyn isn't the CEO? And she's like, and here I have actual factual evidence, and people still don't want to believe the truth. Factual, court-documented evidence. I mean, she can't lie about this, right? And then it goes on further, and what's even more interesting about this, hold on a second, let me pull up the next document, is when you go over here and you see like the different amounts of money that Jaclyn Cosmetics made through the years, and she gives all of that, the different amounts and all that kind of stuff in the video. Oh, I just lost my receipts. Hold on a second. So she goes through all that, but then it comes out, and the next thing is that when they paid Jaclyn Cosmetics, when Forma Brands paid Jaclyn Cosmetics or Jaclyn Hill, they paid her $100,000. Jaclyn Hill LLC was paid $100,000, and on 11/17 of 2022, 11/23 of 2022, and 12/1 of 2022. So within about a month period of time, she was paid $100,000 each. Well, $100,000, and $263,721,000. And it says on here her role in getting paid. Not CEO, not CFO, not manager, not partner, not fountain pop girl, but collaborator and or licensor, okay? So it's interesting when you look at that and you see, okay, so Jaclyn Hill is coming out and she's been saying all this time, I'm the CEO, I started my own brand, yada, yada, yada. It's a family-owned brand. I've had to fire people. I've had to hire people. I've had to do all this. I had to do all this, but whatever. She isn't a controlling person in this whatsoever. She literally is the face of Jaclyn Cosmetics per these documents. If what these documents are saying is true, which I'm not really sure how you would lie in court documents. So this is all about that. And it's still interesting to me that she still hasn't come out and talked about this, okay? Now, y'all know I have a true crime book club, okay? We were supposed to be doing our live stream. Actually, right now, we were supposed to be doing our live stream today, but we postponed it till next week because of the Super Bowl tonight. And I know everybody's getting their artichoke dip ready and all that kind of stuff, okay? So they're getting their fountain pops and all that kind of stuff ready. So we postponed it till next week. But I do have a true crime book club that I run with my good Judy Mel. And so I was kind of thinking about all of this from a true crime point of view, right? Because I was like, okay, now, a couple things that we need to think about is Jaclyn Hill constantly gets very upset that people call her a liar. She's always like, I'm not a liar. I've been accused of being a liar my entire career. I don't know why people call me a liar, even though she's been caught up in several lies throughout her career, right? Which I think, in looking at this, and I'm trying to be fair to Jaclyn, okay? I think she would probably consider those small lies, okay? But here's the thing, all right? And I'm thinking about this from a true crime book club point of view. Here's the thing. If Jaclyn Hill was privy to information that we were not aware of, that the public was not aware of, if she knew something that we didn't know, okay, that she felt that she had to, I don't know, act in a certain way or be a certain way or whatever, right? Then it wouldn't seem like a lie to her, okay? And she also could feel like she was being victimized because she would feel that she was treated unfairly, if that makes sense, okay? So I went in and for you, I did you guys a favor, okay? And I went in and I watched these videos of hers. Hold on a second. Let me go in here and get my receipts going on. I watched this video, which is introducing Jaclyn Cosmetics from 3 years ago. I then went and watched My Lipsticks, which is basically her coming and talking about the failure of her first launch of Jaclyn Cosmetics. And then I watched the third video in the series called My Failure of My Career, which is called Where I've Been, okay? Now, in all three episodes of the series called My Failure of My Career, she says that she is the CEO of this company. In fact, in the first two, I think, well, definitely in the first one, she references how she worked at the Mac counter in the mall in Chicago, and she was on food stamps, okay? So she plays up this, I had it really, really difficult, and this was always my dream to, you know, own my own company. I had saved such amount of money. She talks about this in the first video, that she had saved such amount of money, and that she talked to somebody about like how she wanted to make these lipsticks, and they kind of laughed at her and was like, okay, this is a lot of lipsticks to order for, you know, the amount of money you have and all this kind of stuff. And my true crime book club bells are like ding, 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 ding. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching this, right? Okay. And she's real excited, and she's talking about how this is a family-owned business, and yada, yada, yada. I think we all know this video. It's where she's like holding up the PR box, okay? So then I go in and I watch the second video, and the second video is called My Lipsticks. And this is the one where, you know, she didn't have any makeup on and all this kind of stuff, and she's just sitting there with like a little sweater, you know, buttoned up sweater on, and she's talking about how like she's embarrassed, and she's got all the documents, and she goes through and she explains everything about the gloves that people were wearing, and she basically blames UPS and says that it was real hot in the trucks, and that's why the lipsticks melted, and that you just need to let them sit for a while. That one, you remember that, where she doesn't take really a lot of responsibility. So there's that video, and then I went in and I watched the third video of the series called How I Ruined My Career, which is called Where I've Been. And this video, I'm not gonna, hold on a second, I'm not gonna, well, anyway, it's this video right here, okay? It's this video. And she even says in the video, I'm not gonna sit on here and, you know, wear the gray hoodie apology, and she kind of like flashes a bunch of pictures like of her past where she's done that. And she's like, I'm not gonna do that. She's like, I wanted to get glammed up, I wanted to wear something that looked pretty, but I just wanted to talk to you guys. She's like, I'm really embarrassed to do this video. I don't really know how to do this video. And I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, this is kind of like really a genuine, sincere video, you know? And then I get to the halfway mark, and she says in there, as a CEO, she talks about going, like, how she's gone dark on social media, and she like, whatever. And she's like, the reason why I went dark on social media was because I've been really busy. I had to fire my, you know, basically her entire team and hire her entire team. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. Okay, let's go back to 2019 on those court documents. And I ain't gonna call anybody out. You guys can go watch Jen Love's Reviews video, and you can see who the person was. But she was not the CEO of Jaclyn Cosmetics in 2019, okay? She was not. So as far as who is hiring and who is firing and who is making executive decisions, it was not Jaclyn Hill, the collaborator, okay? It wasn't even Jaclyn Hill, the soda pop girl, okay, or the fountain pop girl. That would not have been her role as the collaborator. And I'm not really sure what that title includes as collaborator. All I can think of is that a collaborator means that you are somebody that does a collaboration with a bigger company than you, okay? Now, for years and years and years, this is where the true crime part comes in, okay? For years and years and years, Jaclyn has been called Jaclyn Morphe Hill. Why? Because she has pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed her Morphe code. She has pushed Morphe brand. She has pushed Morphe products, okay? In fact, it was not anything, it's nothing new to us that we know that she has been very, very close friends with Linda of Morphe for years and years and years. In fact, just like a month ago when Morphe went down, she said something, she put something out on Twitter about how, like, she was sad. I could look it up right now. She was sad because she could remember being with the owner of Morphe opening stores, right? So we know how tight she was with Morphe, all right? So here you have, at the time that Jaclyn Hill was rising on YouTube, okay? She's doing extremely well on YouTube. She's got a little bit of cash set aside, saved to herself, okay? She starts doing these Morphe collabs. Because I'm just trying to piece it together, okay? I'm just trying to, listen, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, I'm not anybody that's I'm not even a fountain pop person, okay? Although I do love a good fountain pop. So I'm just trying to figure this out as somebody that has a true crime book club, okay? And that's it. I just read a book and I comment on it, okay? Or I watch a good documentary and I'm like, okay, I got this all figured out. And then the last 5 minutes I realize I was wrong. But I'm trying to figure this out. And I'm thinking to myself, why has Jaclyn been so bitter about all of this time, right? Like, I do not understand why Jaclyn has been so bitter and why she hasn't taken accountability for her own brand if she truly is the CEO in all this and continues to hold that she is the CEO. Okay, so let's just go back in time and let's imagine Jaclyn is rising to the top of her game on YouTube. She's doing very, very well. She's very relatable. People really like her. She's doing a lot of get readies with me. People love her products and all this kind of stuff, okay? She meets Linda from Morphe. She starts working with Morphe, okay? She starts hanging out with Linda. And Linda and her brother and all those kind of people are whining and dining, you know, Jaclyn. And Jaclyn's getting her Chanel purses. And she's like, oh, Linda, and all this kind of stuff, right? And she's like, I've always dreamed that I could have a brand like you have Morphe. And Linda says to her, I'm just speculating, okay? This is conspiracy speculation. And Linda says to her, well, what, do you have anything set aside? And Jaclyn's like, well, sure, I have a certain amount of money set aside, but like, I don't, you know, I spend a lot of what I made because I have my house, I have this and whatever, okay? I have 15,000 Chanel purses. And she's like, well, you know, to make it big, to be able to order enough gross product, you're going to need this. You're going to need investors. You're going to need backers. Why don't I have you talk to the people that are backing, you know, why don't you have us talk to the people at Morphe and you have the people that talk, you know, whatever, which is later going to end up being Forma brands, okay? It wasn't before, but later it's going to be them. And Jaclyn's like, that's a good idea. And Linda's like, but here's the deal, okay? You're never going to be able to come out and say that you have these backers or these things, right? Like, you're going to have to be the face of Jaclyn. If you are going to come out and say that Jaclyn Cosmetics is yours, you're going to have to, it can't be, because back in the day, I can remember when Jaclyn Cosmetics came out and we thought it was like a unit of Morphe. Like, we speculated about that it was part of Morphe. And people were like, no, it's not part of Morphe. It's not like a sub-business of Morphe and things like that. That was like really highly speculated back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was like a big deal. That was like when people were saying that Jeffree Star and Jaclyn Hill were like huge backers and like financiers of Morphe and things like that, right? Okay, but apparently maybe, not for Jeffree Star, but maybe for Jaclyn Hill it was the other way, okay? Because apparently Jeffree Star has made just like mad money from Morphe. So Jaclyn Hill sees that I've got a little bit of cash saved to the side, okay? Enough to start a brand, but not enough to start a brand the way that I want to. Number one, I can get the backers at Morphe and their parent company, and I can also get the support from Morphe to sell my products. So this is a win-win situation, okay? And then I can go in and I can say I'm the CEO. Nothing legal is ever going to happen. This is never going to, I mean, she never expected for them to file bankruptcy. She never expected for, you know, any of this stuff to happen or any of these court documents to come out, right? So she just thought forever people would think that she was Jaclyn Cosmetics. And maybe at some point she thought, I'll end up being able to buy Jaclyn Cosmetics myself. Maybe that was even discussed. I don't know, okay? I'm just talking out of my ASS right now. This is my true crime speculation, okay? So she comes out and she announces that she's doing Jaclyn Cosmetics, and she's got a real good story. She's got a real good narrative, okay? And maybe even some of it is true. Maybe she was on food stamps, although a lot of that is speculative, and a lot of people have said that they have found that that's not true. But maybe it is. Let's just grant her that that's true, okay? So here you got this really good story of this girl that worked at the MAC counter, okay? It's the same thing with Jeffree Star. You know that Jeffree Star made himself and started with 3 lipsticks, liquid lipsticks, and now he's this powerhouse like makeup mogul, right? It's the same thing, okay? You got this girl that was working at the makeup counter, the MAC counter in Chicago, and she was on food stamps and all this kind of stuff. She got on YouTube and she got famous on YouTube, and then all of a sudden she starts her own brand. It's a great story. And any business to sell products needs a story. Anybody that owns a business will tell you, you need a story, okay? You need a narrator to your story. And Jaclyn Hill is the narrator to Jaclyn Cosmetics. I don't know if she is whatever the collaborator. I don't know if she's a licensor. I don't know what that means. But she is definitely the narrator of Jaclyn Cosmetics, okay? So she gets in video, and she talks about how all this stuff and how it was a family-owned business and all this kind of stuff, which pulls everybody in because they want to support a family-owned business. They want to support somebody that was down here and rose to the top, okay? And you have to remember, at that time, Jaclyn Hill was still loved. A lot of people loved her, okay? Then you have the failure of the launch of Jaclyn the lipsticks. Well, that makes it really difficult because Jaclyn's come out and said that she's the CEO, that she started this business, okay? So at that point, if she was going to get in a video and she was going to blame Morphe and say, I don't own this company, Jaclyn Cosmetics isn't mine, she's going to look like a fool, Morphe is going to look like a fool, and their parent company is going to look like a fool. Because now Jaclyn has lied to everybody, but really, it's not like the parent company is going to look like a fool. So they think, we're just going to fix this, everything will be fixed, everything will be fine, right? Okay. She comes out in this third video, and I'm sitting there watching it, and she continues to say that she's the CEO. I'm wondering to myself at this point, because she really has never backed down from saying that she's the CEO of Jaclyn Cosmetics. I am wondering at this point if there hasn't been some non-disclosure agreement that has been signed or some contract. You know, everybody wants to talk about this contract that Michaela Nogueira allegedly signed with L'Oreal about what she could and couldn't talk about. Well, I don't know that Jaclyn hasn't signed something with Forma Brands, and maybe this will come out on February 23rd, about language that she is able to use or what her brand is, but I don't know how you are legally able to come out and say that you are CEO of a brand when you are not. I don't know. Like, to me, that seems highly suspicious to me that you are able to legally say that when you are not a CEO, right? So, to me, but all along, it seems like she has been the face of all of this, all right? And I'm also wondering if that's maybe why she didn't come out and talk about Cozy. Just go with me for a second. I'm not making excuses for her, right? But if she had backers with this Cozy brand as well, if she had other people that were backing her financially and she's the face of Cozy, then it would make sense that she has been the fall guy for all of this stuff and that she hasn't been able to come out and say, hey, listen, you guys, it's not... it hasn't been Jaclyn Cosmetics. It hasn't been this. It hasn't been Jaclyn Roxanne. I've been the face of all of these things. But what I don't understand about this, okay, what I don't get is, you know, she gets in this third video, which this video is called Where I've Been. And she talks about how she wants to build this relationship, this authentic relationship, this genuine relationship with her audience. You know, I think at this point... to completely separate ties when everything is done legally with Forma Brands, I don't know, to maybe like start her own brand or do something completely different and distance herself from Jaclyn Cosmetics and say, I don't want anything to do with that anymore. Like, she obviously has no legal part in this company. She's obviously paid as just a collaborator. So she's basically just the face. You know, like when Jen was talking about like Ariana Grande, even Ariana Grande is like a role in this, like in this brand that this, you know, REM Beauty. Like Jaclyn Hill, she is literally just the face of Jaclyn Cosmetics. Which I wonder if she doesn't have backers from the Cozy brand, which is why she pushed it so hard, and then Jordan came out and said, this will be your legacy. Because he knew that Jaclyn Cosmetics was not her legacy, because Jaclyn Cosmetics wasn't hers. Jaclyn Cosmetics was Forma Brands' business at the end of the day, right? But at some point, Jaclyn is going to have to come out and talk about this. I mean, it's starting to look really, really bad, and I think that when the final court documents come out, I think the final closing and selling of all of this, Jen said, is on like March 2nd. When that all finally happens and this all closes down and whatever happens, apparently two companies are looking at possibly buying Forma Brands and how this all situates and whatever. I mean, at that point, Jaclyn can't continue to say that she's the CEO. She just can't. You know, I mean, the court documents are out. People are talking about it now, and it's just like she's over there talking about her cat, is it Marty? the justice for Puss Puss, but she's still over there. Marty Puss Puss just today killed a mouse, and she's real over it and brought it. Well, that's what cats do, Jaclyn. Okay, I hate to tell you that, but feral cats that you find in the wild, they kill mice, okay? Even domestic cats kill mice, you know? I don't know if you watched the cartoons from back in the day. But at some point, she's going to have to come out and she's going to have to address this and talk about this. I mean, okay, you say you're the CEO, and she even says, I know people think, like in this third video, that being a boss CEO is wearing Louboutins and all this kind of stuff. I mean, she makes a joke out of it like I do. But she doesn't address any of it like a CEO, right? So if you're not the CEO, you're going to have to come out and address it at some point because it makes you look really foolish. And as somebody that comes out and says, I don't lie, because you say over and over and over again, I've been accused of lying, I don't lie, yada, 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 okay? Girl, this is maybe like a big, massive lie that could be the one that completely takes down your career. I mean, it could be career ending for you. So I think Jaclyn needs to get in a video, and I think she needs to address it. I think she needs to address all of it. Anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.